So I'm going to show you the quickest way to change a IP address on it's a CPL1 or CP1L processor from Omron. Now you're going to go into settings, right? And then you're going to go over here to basically scroll over to built-in IP address. Now let's just say I wanted to change this to let's just say, for instance, I wanted to change it to like 192.168.77. Again, so I could do that, but it's not going to take until I'm actually in, because right now I'm in run mode. So I'll need to go over here to operating mode and go to program mode. Okay. Now I'm going to go to program mode. All the outputs and everything will stop. And you can, if I had the camera pointed to it, you'd see the output stop. But you do see the outputs are off right now, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here, and we're going to go back here, and we're going to change this to 77. At this point, you just merely change it right there, and then in PLC, what you want to do is you want to transfer this, so to PLC, or from PLC. So we're going to transfer this to PLC because we changed the IP address, and it says this command will affect the state of the PLC, which obviously you should know that. So what we're doing now is we've now changed the IP address to this. And let's just say, for instance, now I bought this off of eBay, right? And I didn't know the IP address, and when I try to go look for it or something like that, when I tried to use this IP config and stuff like that, none of that stuff was working for me, even though rightfully so, it says go in here and use let me show you real quick. I can better show you than I can tell you. It says use the communication hardware right here, and then it says browse network, or you can use direct. Okay, that wasn't working for me, and I can show you right here. You can go right here, you can go to direct connect, and you can see I can see my processor. Okay, now I can see that, and everything's working like it should, but you can't necessarily change it like that. You have to go into here and you have to change it in here. Okay, so then when you come over here, you come back to built-in Ethernet, it's changed, but we need to still again come over here to operate mode, being that we transferred this, we did transfer it to PLC. Now we need to go back into operate mode and then change it back into operate mode. You see my outputs did come on, and then everything is good. Now again, I'm just showing you this because again that shows you the outputs and stuff like that, so that you can actually see like some of this stuff is just basically like turntable stuff. It's not nothing really critical. You can just see basic logic in here, so I don't want to kind of overwhelm you with that. This video is not necessarily about how to program with the Omron software. It's mainly about like if you buy a processor off eBay like I did and you want to know the IP address. Now again, you can use that software that I just pulled up. You can use that software to figure out what your IP address is. But how do you change it if you don't want that? You don't want to use it, right? And the very simplest way I can put it is you come over here and you can change it right here, right? So remote session, and it says, oh no, well I actually typed in USB, I'm sorry. And it still says it's the same thing, but again, what I'm finding it was with the actual software is it does take a little bit of time to actually update for some reason, which is a little bit strange, but hey, it is what it is. So you can select what you want. You can use this browse hub, browse right there. You can browse your whole, but whatever your Ethernet is. You can use this direct connect utility, and you can see the IP address that I currently have. You can say okay, and then again, I never had success doing this. I had success doing exactly what I just showed you. You can easily see that the processor is having a communication error. So let's see what the communication error is. Actually, no, the processor is good. It was having a communication error for a minute. Might have been my static switch, because it does float. Like if you change the IP address on the static switch, it does take a second for it to populate. But you do see, if you go into settings right here, and we are online, okay, we are online, we can see that the IP address has changed. So just to kind of show you, and again, this is using the Omron CX programmer, right? So this is nothing like really like cutting edge or nothing like that. I do have one that I'm getting that's on order, that's more modern. But again, when it comes down to it, I'm trying to get the best price for it, because I'll order everything off eBay. I'm not gonna sit here and we just don't have the means to pay top dollar for stuff like that. When you're just doing system testing and you're an integrator or something like that, you want to make sure that you have the ability to test what you're testing right now, and then come in and look at different things, right? And test different things. You don't want to, like I said, necessarily you don't want to have to pay top dollar for something simple, when you can sit here and just change it. Like, say for instance, if I wanted to come over here and force this on, I can sit there and force that on in the PLC. Now I have another output on, which is the green light. But again, I'm forcing that. You can also set it so if you force it, what you want to do is cancel all forces. Now, it's just like Rockwell, right? So you can set it on, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But again, when it comes down to it, I just wanted to show you the best way to actually change the IP address on the processor that I'm currently using, which is the CP1L. That is the processor that I'm currently using, and you can see right here, there's nothing protected. It's just basically there. You can verify that the PLC is what it is, and come over here, and it's in monitor. You can do run mode. So everything is in full run mode right now. So again, when you come down to it, you look at the monitoring. We can look, we're in run mode. Everything is good. And again, when it comes down to it, you can look at your error logs. There's no errors. So just like I said, it shows a little X right there, but there's no errors. Just keep that in mind. That's the best way I found to do it. And I've looked at many different videos, but I haven't found anyone that actually clarified how to do that a very simple way. But I did use that one software to find it, right? I did use that one software that I just showed you how to find, and that's that Omron software. And you come over here, and you're going to use the communication middleware utility, and using that browse utility. Again, I did have success finding the actual original IP address with that, and I didn't necessarily have to do anything. I just went online and because originally this right here was the IP address. That was the original IP address it came with, so you can still see that, and that's probably because it's caching what I had. Again, but I'm actually communicating with something else, so I do know that this does have a communication of the 192.168.177. So I do know that is working. So with that said, hopefully you learned a lot from this video. We'll see you guys on the next one.